You don't always see a monthly jobs report making big headlines, but Friday's blockbuster announcement of stronger than expected numbers could send a ripple effect throughout the economy. Everything from interest rates to concerns about a recession could be affected. So Tom Gimbel is here to sort it all out. Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm doing great, Micah. Good to see you.
Good to see you, too. 254,000 jobs created. On the one hand, we say that's great. I mean, even Joe Biden came out, the president came out and talked to the press corps, which he's never done before. But that doesn't mean everything's all good, right?
Well, listen, we live in a world right now where we're always waiting for the other shoe to drop. But when we're adding, let's just get to the basis of people saying we're in a recession, we're not in a recession. When you're adding 250,000 jobs, and there's always data behind the data, but when you're adding 250,000 jobs, that is a really good, positive thing. And what it shows is, as we've talked about before, the Fed lowered interest rates by 50 basis points a couple weeks back, and that might have been too aggressive. And that's what the number shows us, is that the economy was actually doing okay on its own. And when we get down to it, what is a good economy? It's when people are working.
But we're not talking about jobs created in every sector. We're talking about what? Hospitality, restaurants, things like that?
Yeah, a lot of it was in hospitality, restaurants, hotels, travel, things along those lines. But remember, Micah, that if those areas are hiring, that means people are traveling, people are eating out. If that's happening, that means they have more disposable income, which means they're working and there's jobs. And if they're doing that, then companies are paying them, and so on and so forth. So it really is a trickle-down economy that if you see restaurants and hospitality hiring, that's a good sign. It might not be great for the white-collar worker who wants to go from 80,000 to 100,000, but it is good for the overall economy, and wages have to start at the bottom. We have to see that continual higher in the hourly wage area, and then it gets into the salaried white-collar worker.
Is it safe to say then, and I think you did, that our economy is safe? It's good right now.
Well, listen, nothing's safe. I mean, whoever would have thought we'd have the problem with the school board that we have in Chicago? So I don't say anything's safe. What I will say is that anytime an economy is adding jobs in the hundreds of thousands every month, and there will be revisions. The naysayers, Micah, are saying, oh, they revise every month, and they do. However, if we're adding 250,000 jobs, that's a really good sign for the national economy.
Well, you got to look at other things that affect the economy, of course. We've got the hurricanes going on now in the Gulf. We've got an election getting ready to come up. So how is this going to fit into all the moving and grooving with that?
Well, it's a really interesting point. So what we're going to have with the hurricanes and what's going on in the Southeast, and really just a terrible situation for everybody, is that we're going to have to put more money into the economy from the federal government to help those people out. And quite frankly, that's what the government's there for, is to help in a time of disaster, not to flood the market when things are going fine. And so what we're going to see is that may hurt inflation when you flood the market with money that it didn't have, and inflation could increase, but we don't have any other choice. And so that's why you don't want the Fed to lower rates too soon and by too big of a number, because you don't have that luxury to pull that lever later on if you actually need it. Now, what I think we'll see in the months to come is actually an increase in the jobs numbers, because you're going to have more people going down to the Southeast to do the work that you're going to have required to help rebuild those areas. So out of every tragedy does come some positivity, and that'll be for jobs.
And the next jobs report comes out, what, 4 days before the election? What will that mean for
Yes, exactly. It'll be the October number will be the first Friday in November, right before the election.
So who should be, how could it affect each side?
I think that if people don't have their mind made up 4 days before the election with these two candidates, I think we got a bigger problem in this country. I think it'll already be made up, Micah.
All right, Tom, thank you. See you next Monday.
Bear orange. Bear down, Micah. Bear down.
All right, go Bears. Thanks.